How to build a Lego minigun. This is one barrel. You need to make 4 for a 4-barreled and 8 for an 8-barreled. It is 26 studs long, and on one side it has to have at least 3 holes, and on the other side it has to at least have 7 holes. The next couple of parts are only for an 8-barreled minigun. Keep building this pattern in order to complete a ring that will support the 8-barreled minigun. The following part I'm showing you how to build is for both a 4-barreled and an 8-barreled minigun. This is a completed 4-barreled minigun barrel, and on one side, on the small side, you have to leave 1 hole, and on the big side you have to leave at least 5 holes. For the 8-barreled minigun, to assemble it, you have to combine both the ring and the 4-spoked thing in order to, and then put the barrels around it. The same goes for the 8-barreled. Leave 5 holes on the big side and 1 hole on the small side. This is the frame of the minigun. It is 38 studs long, 4 studs wide, and at the left-hand side it has a little indentation that is 4 by 4 studs. Now create this part. Sandwich a 12-hole or greater rod in between the 2 parts you just built. Now create this part. Attach the part just created to the spot where the indentation was made on the frame, and also rubber band it to the frame. This rod is 11 holes long. This part is attached to the opposite end of where the indentation is on the frame. If you're using a motor like this, create this part. When you attach the motor to the frame, make sure the little black bar, the studs go in the little small circles that are on the bottom of the frame. Don't place it where you normally would think you would. Put the gear into the motor. This is the spindle of thread. It is actually dental floss, and it is a 8-stud long axle and a hub from a tire, and between the inside of the hub and the gear there's a half spacer. This is another 11 hole long bar. When you load the gun, the piece right in front of the spindle will act as a guide for the dental floss on the spindle. Make sure you cap off the ends of the spindle with 2 spacers. This is the structure that holds the barrel and the handle. Repeat this first picture's pattern until you get it to the second picture, which is 8 bricks high. This is my way of doing the handle. If you guys want to do something else, I greatly encourage you to. But if you want to just use this, go right ahead. This is where the handle will connect to the structure. Make sure you have these half spacers on both sides of the black bar. On the side of the barrel that has 7 holes, add a long axle and connect it to this orange piece on the structure, the frame structure, and put a half spacer in between it. On the side of the barrel that has 3 holes, add another axle and then connect it to this part that's from the frame. Cap off the top of the handle structure. Lastly, check and make sure your barrel is even with the frame, and also put 5 pegs on every single barrel. Okay, this is the loading section of the minigun tutorial, and what you first want to do when you start loading is feed your floss through the guide that you built onto the mechanism of the gun, and then after you do that, you're going to anchor the floss to the barrel, and what you do is just unplug like the peg on the end and put your floss through that hole, and then plug the pin back in. It'll hold the floss in. And then after that, what you want to do is feed your floss through the little slit in the peg, and then put the rubber band around the peg and stretch it just to the other side, and it goes on the bottom right here. So, yep. And then just keep doing that for, I don't know, every peg. You can do a maximum up to 3 bands per peg, but that's kind of hard to get to work right. It took me a good, 8 times in order to get to work right on my last video about this gun. And so I would just start off with 1 band per peg. And also, if you have noticed, I'm running my motor off of a 9-volt battery, and also my switch is right here, so that's what triggers it. I'm going to load a couple more rubber bands on this minigun, like 2 more, and then I'll just show you it running. After you loaded all the bands that you want onto the minigun, you want to give it a little bit of time to build up momentum, and I usually just do like 1 turn, because this gearing system is kind of slower, but it's pretty effective. Plus my battery's a little bit dead, so it's not as fast. I encourage you to mess around with the gearing, just find what works best for you. This is just like a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, I'll just go ahead and, oops, hold on. Start it spinning. Shot like a couple, they're down there. You can't see it too well. If you want to have better shooting footage of this gun, go to my channel and check out the gun called LGG1, and it's this pretty much the same gun. This is just, I just rebuilt it for the tutorial. And yeah, I'm about to show you how to use a drill to power the instead of the motor. So yeah, okay, this is how you use a drill. The drill will be you have to put a pretty long axle into the drill where the drill bit would go, but instead of the drill bit you use the axle, and then just plug it up right here and then hook it to the gear, and then it'll just turn the spindle. And yeah, and then you just kind of like lift up the whole thing. It's a little bit harder to use, but it's possible. Hold on, it's not good. Hold on, there we go. Here we go. Hold on. Switched around here. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit harder to use, but okay, here we go. Yeah, I think I just tangled that up, but you get the idea. It's a lot harder to use actually, but that's it for the tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you want to check out shooting footage, check out the actual video about this gun. And just thank you for please subscribe, comment, rate. Just, I don't know. Thank you for watching.